The following is an encore presentation of stories from the Dooralong Transformation Centre.
And you're listening to 94.9 Rima Central Coast. It's Rick in the chair with you, and we have our special guest from Dooralong here. You may have heard him this morning with Mick and Kath. Craig, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Rick. Much appreciated.
Glad you could come along and share your story. Now, you've actually graduated from Dooralong.
Yeah, I graduated middle of October last year and been out of the program for 6 months now, and yeah, going well.
So one of the success stories.
Yeah. So it's helped my life, and
So I guess, Craig, just give us a little bit of a background, upbringing, growing up, what life was like.
Life was good. I grew up on Northern Beaches, born down in Manly Hospital, and grew up surfing all my life and had a good upbringing. But sort of hanging around the beaches, sort of started smoking pot when I was at a young age,
right.
And that sort of, I wouldn't say that led to one worse thing, but yeah, smoked pot for a long time and gave that up when I was about 30. And then sort of took up another bad habit after that, and it was manageable at first, and then just the last couple of years it got out of control. It was a cocaine addiction.
Okay.
Yeah.
So leading into the pot use, was there reasons, or was it just recreational?
Just recreational.
Everyone else was doing it, give it a go.
I was like a sheep follower,
Yeah.
and all my mates were doing it, so picked it up one day, and that was it. And
how did the family pick up on that? Did they see
my parents could see it, and in the end I was sort of hiding it, and then my mum found some marijuana. I hid under the bed.
Oops.
Yeah.
Mums always find them.
Oh yeah, she was good. And she just noticed a change in me and my personality, and just a lot different, and I wasn't getting out in the water as much as, lost inspiration, and just wanted to sit home and smoke marijuana.
Yeah. So it's very topical at the moment, isn't it, with the news report yesterday?
Yeah, it's quite ironic that.
So you would say that probably not a good idea to legalise it?
Well, if it helps and keeps, it's like for people medicinal uses and all that, it can be used for the right way.
I think medicinal's a bit different than recreational.
Yeah. So it can be used for the right way.
Yeah.
So I'm not too sure on that.
Yeah, often seems to be an entry level, but into other things.
It sure does. Yes.
Yeah. So how did it impact you? Like you would have been still at school.
I was still at school. Yeah. So
how did it impact your studies?
It really affected my studies. So I ended up because I was brought on the beaches, and then I'd take off at lunchtime and go and smoke a few bongs, and then come back, and the teacher sort of picked up on it, and I'd always, when the surf was good, I'd take a day off, and wagged a lot of school when I was younger, and just loved the beach life, and that went hand in hand, smoking marijuana.
Yeah, it didn't really lead to good career choices.
It didn't lead to good career choices. No.
So coming on, you left school, then presumably went into the workforce?
Yeah, went into the workforce. Worked for my father doing advertising, billboards all around New South Wales. We'd go away for a week at a time and travel around the whole of New South Wales.
So clearly your family hung with you then.
Yeah,
your father was prepared to give you a job.
Yeah, he stuck by me, and so my mother as well. So I've got a lot to thank for them, and they could have just washed their hands of me, but stuck by me, and still have a good relationship with them to this day.
That's good. I think that's so important. Isn't it?
It is family.
So it led on to cocaine.
Yeah, eventually.
Well, sort of not directly.
No,
but
not directly. So that sort of came when a little bit later in life, when I was early 40s, and just being around friends again. Seeing a few friends do it and enjoying themselves. Said, one won't hurt, but. Well,
famous last words.
It was famous last words. So it sort of led into once a weekend, and then as it went on a bit further, it's started creeping into the middle of the week, and then before lo and behold, it was still an everyday addiction, and life became a bit unmanageable.
Craig was sharing earlier how as a young tacker he started off on some marijuana. That sort of down the track a little bit in his 30s led to cocaine. Yeah. What brought you to the point where you realised you needed help?
I was just sick and tired of waking up sick and tired. That's the old saying. Just my life became unmanageable, and my partner could see a big difference in me, and lost all motivation. I used to surf a lot, and then started, just wanting to go to the pub and get on the cocaine with all the boys, and it just just spiraled out of control. And then
So you had a partner. You were able to maintain a relationship.
I have and still have. She's
still the
stuck
same
by
lady?
me, so
Excellent.
she's we're going to get married sometime later in the year, and
Okay.
move up this way,
Nice.
up the Central Coast, get out of Sydney.
So when you realised you needed help, what'd you do? Where'd you go to?
We looked around at a few places. There was a place down on the northern beaches. It's rock castles at Encore, but
Mhm.
it was only like for a month, and it was like very expensive. And
Right.
I'd known a few blokes who had tried that, and it was like a break for them. They came out fresh and just got back on it the next day. So
Expensive exercise
very,
without much result.
very expensive. So we looked around at more of a long-term
Mm-hmm.
place, so I could get the help I needed.
Mm-hmm.
And we come across Dooralong, and I got into Dooralong at the start of April. I did a week of detox down in William Booth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was the hardest part, the day she dropped me into William Booth, and that was life-changing, and I'll never forget that day.
Yeah.
And seeing her break down and me break down, and we just knew this is it, and wanted a better life for both of us.
I guess sometimes you got to get to the point where there's no alternative.
Well, there was no alternative. I was at breaking point, and I'd had enough, and I knew I needed help, and we found the Dooralong Transformation Centre, and never looked back.
So what was your thoughts? You walked into Dooralong that first day. You've been at William Booth, which is city sort of thing.
Yeah, very right in the heart of the
you
city.
drive up to Dooralong. It's a pretty impressive looking place.
I like the open spaces and the bush, because I've done a lot of travelling out in the country doing the signs, and it was quite daunting getting there the first day and not knowing anyone and just pretty alone, and couldn't talk to my girlfriend you can't talk to them through the day and all that, so that was probably quite hard. And then just going into the room with some new people who have been in the same position, so it was quite overwhelming and daunting at the same time, and looking forward to the new challenge. It was
So you went in there, I guess, some people who go there are sort of court orders to be there.
Well, there was a lot of people in that position,
but you were there of your own will.
On my own choice, yes.
So you walked in there, and how important is it that you're surrounded by those people who are at different parts of that same journey? Is that good, or is that almost sometimes negative?
It was quite good, because you weren't alone, and there was a lot of people in the same position, and it was good to talk to different people and different experiences and what other people have been through and what brought them to that stage, and it was quite an eye opener actually. So it was quite daunting, the first phase, the induction phase, 3 weeks of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were there moments during that time you think, why did I do this?
I thought, I won't last. The first week was the hardest. Once you get past that, or the first 3 weeks, and once you got down, because you stayed in the lodge at the first 3 weeks, then you got moved. Because you're fresh off fresh out of the city, and then once you get down in the cabins and get in the routine, and it got a lot better. And I just knew that was every day I'd bring the missus and said, I won't last here, but I just sucked it up and got right in and threw myself at the whole program, and
I guess it's a bit of a unique program they have out there.
Very unique.
What in those first few weeks were there things that you went, hang on, why are you doing that? That's weird. Well, that doesn't make sense. How did that?
Well, because I'd just come straight from being in addiction, and then I didn't have any rules or regulations in my life, and I used to run my own business and roofing and that, and then sort of done the wrong thing by some builders not turning up and getting slack and not finishing the jobs, and going from no structure to this so structured program. Like, roll call, then 2 groups, then work therapy, lunch, church, then going to different meetings and everything, and just so structured. It was good to get in a routine again. What
was there in those first few weeks when obviously you're second guessing yourself, saying, have I done the right thing? Was there anything in particular that really locked you in, say, this is where I'm meant to be? This is right?
just thinking about my partner and how much she'd stuck by me, and I said, I'm going to do this for me and her, and turn our life around, and thanks to Dooralong, transform me into a new person, and so never look back now. So
that's great. So Craig, picking up on the story again, so you're at Dooralong, you're settling into the program, trying to adjust to a structured style of life. Excuse me. So where, just off air we were talking, and you were saying you had no real exposure to the Christian faith before Dooralong.
No.
Come to Dooralong, it's all over the place, and it's in your face.
It's a very Christian program. It was quite daunting to start with, and my parents weren't very religious at all, and I wasn't that naive and didn't think there was nothing, but always thought there was something. So I was, I don't like to say it, but a fence sitter. And, but no, it's opened my eyes. Very, very spiritual these days, and just my higher powers like the ocean and God's creations and everything, and just So
you're saying you're regularly involved in the Salvo's Church up at Bonnells Bay?
At Bonnells Bay, yeah. I come driving up from Sydney once a week on the Sunday for the last 3 months, and just sort of kept in touch with the Reverend there, Reverend Jim Burton. So it's nice to catch up with him and have a chat every now and again.
So through the program at Dooralong, I know they have a lot of different modules and units and different focus areas that they work on. Which ones really impacted you?
Probably self-awareness about everything, and just choices, and family. A lot about family as well. Like, I don't see my parents. They live up in Queensland, and one of my brothers live over here on the Central Coast, and sort of just grew apart from them for a while when I went down the wrong path. And now that I've done all this, and they're so proud of me, and we back in touch a lot more. Ring my parents every week now, and go and see my brothers and everything. But just being in the groups and that, and talking to other people, and hearing their experiences as well, just knowing you weren't alone.
Yeah, just hearing your whole story, I see that thread through there, as family has been incredibly important to you.
Yeah, very important.
And your relationship with your partner and your parents' support through it all. Within the Dooralong context, my understanding, I've never been part of the program, relationships is a significant part of how they work that as well.
So when you go there, I had a partner, and she stuck by me for the last 4 years, and she got me sort of through the program, so I sort of did it for her as well as myself. More for myself, but she stuck by me, and now we're in a very good relationship, and we're preparing to get married later in the year. And
that's great. And you were saying you've also just in the last few weeks started to go back out to Dooralong to help, like mentoring?
No, not mentoring, just doing some volunteer work around the property. So I worked up in the work shed, and I used to be a metal roofer by trade, so I was cleaning all the roofs and gutters and that, because a lot of leaves and stuff fall on the roofs. And just out there at the moment, just helping up in the work shed again, and it's quite humbling and quite rewarding.
Now you're living down in the Northern Beaches again.
Yeah,
that's a bit of a commitment.
It's been a good commitment actually. So
why did you want to do that?
I just felt like I wanted to repay the Salvation Army for all the help they'd done for me.
Okay.
And I just think it's the right thing to do, and I'm enjoying it.
Okay,
look forward to it.
We know from feedback we get following these sort of sessions, we have people listening who either have addiction issues themselves or possibly family members have addiction issues. What advice would you give them? So let's say it's a mum and dad.
That's a good point.
And their teenage son or something they can see going in that direction. What would you suggest they can do? How can they help them to first, I guess, see they have a problem?
Yeah, that's it.
But
so the first thing is what I did was my life became unmanageable, and I realised I had a real bad problem. And the good thing is, you think you're alone out there, but to all the listeners who have got problems, you're not alone. And I'd suggest you pick up the phone, ring the Dooralong Transformation Centre, and get in there. And it can really change your life around.
What if they're perhaps hiding their issues from their family and friends?
That's a good point. So that's hard one to touch on, because for a few years, for about a year, I walked around behind closed doors from my partner and that. She didn't realise, and then sort of just noticed my change in behaviour and my lack of motivation and not going to work, and she sort of picked up on something, and then one night we had it all out, and I just sort of just come clean, and that was the change.
That helped.
That helped a lot. And talked to my partner, and then that's when I sort of broke down and said, I've been sort of hiding it for a long time. And
So you'd encourage them to confess, I guess, admit they've got a problem.
Come out and be clean.
That's got to
and
be
just,
the first
yeah,
step.
exactly. That's the first step I'd do.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. Craig, the future.
Yes, Rick.
You've already mentioned that you're going to be hopefully getting married later in the year, which is fabulous. What about other stuff, career-wise, work-wise?
Career-wise, work-wise. I went and did a railway course in January so I could get onto the railways at night and change all the billboards. And so it's a lot of night work.
Okay.
And good thing you can get urine and drug tested all the time and breath tested.
Keeps you honest.
Keeps you honest. So that's always there. And so looking forward to working, and I enjoy getting the days off so I can go surfing and that. And
that hasn't died.
So I'm like a little kid again. Like found inspiration in the surf again, and it's been really good.
You get a lot of time to think when you're surfing, don't you?
You do. You sit out on the water, and I just reflect on life in general and where I've been and where I'm going, and it's I do a lot of thinking on the water. It's a good place.
We touched off air on your need, I guess, to continue to be vigilant and wise in avoiding people, places, things.
People, places, things. Yeah, that's a good one. So me and my partner want to move away from Sydney because there's everywhere you drive past, old pubs and clubs and people, and just knowing that you can walk into anywhere and see the cocaine there at any time. So that's why I've been going to church a lot and coming back to Dooralong keeps me grounded and keep connected to those sort of people, making the right choices for a change.
Yeah, and you've clearly made a very strong decision. You're never going back to that.
No, never. No, I've never seen it clearer these days, and it's a good thing. My partner helps me with that, and she hadn't heard me talk about cocaine for a long time now, and
probably got more money in the bank too than you did.
A lot more money. Yeah, so we're living life the way it should be, and just enjoying it and doing all the right things, and it's been a real eye opener the last couple of years, and
so the future looks good.
Future looks bright. So thanks to all the help I got out at Dooralong, and just knowing, all the things I learn out there, and just when I get triggered and what to do and what not to do, and just making the choices.
So it's helped you get strategies in place.
A lot
to
of
deal
strategies.
With the triggers.
It sure has, and it's been life changing, and
How was that re-entry process, I guess, of leaving Dooralong and coming back down to the Northern Beaches?
So that was quite interesting. So when I was preparing to leave Dooralong, had everything in place, and I just felt it was the right time to come home and be with my partner and get back into the workforce. And the first couple of weeks was, a little strange being back around the old neighbourhood and just being a lot more healthier and wiser, and, learn about myself a lot more, and it was quite interesting. So that was quite daunting as well, coming back home, being around that sort of thing, and just knowing that to make the right choices is a better choice, and I've just excelled from there and never looked back now.
And again, I guess it comes down to the people that were around you supporting you.
That's exactly right. So my partner, family, friends, and then just just all the hard work I'd done at Dooralong, and so life's looking very good. Yeah,
I think that's a encouraging word too for those of us maybe are out there who do have family members with addiction, is stick with them.
Yeah, just don't turn your back on them. Everyone needs help, and everyone deserves a second chance, I feel, and
a third and a fourth.
And a third and a fourth, and that's it. Just keep trying until you get it right. And it does take time, but so
it's worth it.
It's very worth it. Life's good, and you never look back once you go there. It's good.
Excellent. Okay, Craig, we're going to wrap that up now. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
Mate, we pray a blessing on your future.
Thank you.
And that all will go well. And that you will stay clean.
Yep.
I'm sure we will. I'm sure you will. You're looking fit and healthy and happy.
Thank you very much.
And pray for you and your partner that it all goes along, and that maybe one day you come back in.
Yeah, I was going to.
After you live it up here on the coast, pop in, say good day, and we'll get you on air again.
I said to Nick earlier, I'll come back in 6 months or 12 months, and we'll do a follow-up story. But
it'd be good. That would
I'd just like to thank Rima for having me on, and to all the listeners, please, if you're doing it tough, don't hesitate, pick up the phone, and a big thank you to the Salvation Army at Dooralong. for all the hard work they do.
They do a great
God
job,
bless.
and it's great to be in partnership with them.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Craig.
You've been listening to an encore presentation of the Dooralong stories, which can be heard live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. and repeated 8 p.m. Sunday and 1 a.m. Wednesday, right here on 94.9 rema.cc.